Earthquake shakes Myanmar with tremors felt as far as Bangkok. Rescue crews are scrambling as damage reports and aftershocks roll in.
Vice President J.D. Vance heads to Greenland as Trump revives talk of buying the island. The trip sparks political pushback and global curiosity about the U.S. Arctic ambitions.
You're watching WUFT Midday.
It's the last weekend of the month and March looks to be heading out much warmer than it came in. WFT's Nicole Borman joins us now, and she's saying that thunderstorms are on the way this weekend.
That's right, guys. We are expecting some storms on Sunday, but right now outside the temperature's looking really nice. Temperature's pretty warm in those mid-70s. Only a few clouds in the sky over Century Tower and over the stadium. Over the rest of north central Florida, we're seeing relatively similar temperatures, seeing 75 in Gainesville, 78 in Ocala, 77 in the Bronx, and pretty nice outside. That's shorts and t-shirt weather right there. But going into our afternoon, we are going to be seeing those temperatures decrease out into those 60s. So keep that in mind if you're considering to hit the town later on. But on Sunday, we could be expecting some storms that could be affecting highly more into the panhandle with those temperatures, with those winds, and with the size of hail that could be impacting them. I'll tell you more about that later on into the show. But later into the show, I'll be telling you more about this warm weather we're having today, the pollen that we've been experiencing all month long, and the rain you could be expecting Sunday going into your week.
Rescue crews in Bangkok are working tirelessly to free 81 people trapped under a huge pile of rubble after a building collapse. WUFT's Icy Snow has the latest.
A 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit the heart of war-ravaged Myanmar late last night, triggering the collapse of buildings across the region, with many feared dead. The quake affected the countries of Bangladesh, India, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and China. Rescue crews in Bangkok are working tirelessly to free 81 people trapped under a pile of rubber after a building collapsed. So far, 3 people have been confirmed dead in Thailand, according to the country's defense minister. A witness to the Bangkok building collapse details the horrors in a recent interview.
It's a big building, probably at least 30 stories. And it just came down within seconds, and I knew that there would be people in there working on it. And of course, it's tragic.
As the region deals with the aftermath, the city remains on high alert. According to the Myanmar state media, 140 people have been killed and hundreds more injured. The countries are now calling for help with medical supplies, including blood donations. Live in the studio, Isis Snow, WUFT News.
President Donald Trump is withdrawing Elisa Stefanik's nomination for UN ambassador. In a social media post, Trump asked the New York Republican to remain in Congress. He explained that her presence is crucial for maintaining the GOP's slim majority in the House, with Republicans holding 218 seats to Democrats 213 and 4 vacancies. Every vote matters. President Trump expressed hope that Stefanik will join his administration in the future to help advance his legislative agenda.
A federal judge has ruled against a Cornell University student seeking 2 Block 2 executive orders by President Trump. The orders have been used in the administration's crackdown on foreign students involved in pro-Palestinian protests. The student had his visa revoked as part of his actions. The judge ruled that the court lacked jurisdiction and he didn't show a clear threat to his rights. He challenged the orders, claiming they unfairly target pro-Palestinian protesters.
Vice President J.D. Vance arrives in Greenland today for a visit that shifted from a cultural trip to a key security mission. NBC's Molly Hunter has the latest from Greenland, where the Vice President's visit will focus on U.S. military security.
Good morning from the freezing cold capital of Nuuk, actually well below freezing, I should say, but where the Vice President J.D. Vance, the Second Lady, Mike Waltz, the National Security Advisor, and the Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, that high-level U.S. delegation, where they're heading is even colder. They're heading to the northwest, the remote northwest of Greenland, to a U.S. military base to meet with about 150 U.S. military personnel. And this trip, as we've been talking about this week, is a much scaled-back version of what it was originally going to be. And talking to Greenland Greenlanders yesterday and today since we've been here on the ground. This is a trip they can live with. This is an appropriate trip, people tell us, that they can live with. They're going to go meet with U.S. military personnel. That is a base that has been there for 75 years. It's really America's kind of Arctic listening post, the first line of defense for ballistic missiles coming from Russia or China across the Arctic. And so people here have no problem with the American vice president going up there. What they had a problem with is the second lady coming here for some kind of cultural trip, uninvited and unwelcome. Now, we spoke with a lot of people who say they respect America. They want to collaborate and work with America. And one of the members of parliament, actually, that we spoke with talks about how they want to learn how to dance with America, to really kind of do some kind of business that benefits the people here and is not just dictated by America. Molly Hunter, NBC News, Nuuk, Greenland.
The Department of Health and Human Services is cutting 10,000 full-time employees across health agencies. This comes after the workers left voluntarily. HHS says the cuts will save the department $1.8 billion per year. The reductions are part of a major restructuring at the agency. The overhaul also includes consolidating 28 divisions into just 15.
Severe flooding hit Texas and cities across the border in Mexico on Thursday. The heavy rain flooded homes, roads, and prompted school closures across the Rio Valley. Some areas received as much as 15 inches of rain. Highways and access roads in Mexico were flooded with up to 4 feet of water. Officials have declared a flash flood emergency and expect more rain today.
People in the Northeast U.S. and Canada can catch a special sight this weekend, a partial solar eclipse. The eclipse will be visible Saturday morning before 5 a.m. and until nearly 9 a.m. Eastern Time. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon blocks part of the sunlight from reaching Earth. Experts say the eclipse will look like the moon has taken a bite out of the sun. Remember to wear special glasses to view the eclipse safely.
Search and recovery efforts continue today for 4 U.S. soldiers missing in a pit bog in Lithuania. The soldiers were operating an M88 Hercules armored vehicle during a training exercise near the Belarus border. Their vehicle was found on Wednesday, more than 16 feet below the bog's surface. Hundreds of U.S. and Lithuanian military personnel are working to locate the soldiers, including surveying nearby woodlands. U.S. Ambassador Cara McDonald confirmed that a Navy diving team will assist in the search later today.
The Florida Museum of Natural History's Powell Hall and its public exhibitions, including the Butterfly Rainforest, are temporarily closed. The closure is due to a large-scale expansion project to improve the museum's facilities. Museum Director Douglas S. Jones welcomed the opportunity to engage with the community during the renovation. The museum will continue its educational programs off-site during the closure. The expansion includes updates to classrooms, the facade, and the creation of the new exhibit and educational spaces.
Chiefland city officials welcomed their first baby box this week at the Chiefland Fire Department. The baby box was blessed at 1 p.m. on Thursday. The initiative aims to combat infant abandonment in the community. Chiefland's new baby box will be the 6th one in Florida. There are currently 330 safe haven baby boxes across the country.
The University of Florida Board of Trustees is approving a compensation package of up to $3 million for their next president. Former President Ben Sass resigned in July 2024 after receiving a base salary of $1 million in 2022. Meeting minutes show that the board is willing to offer significantly more for the next leader. An outside consultant found that the college presidents are seeing higher turnover and rising salaries. Ken Fuchs, a former president, is temporarily leaving UF until a new president is elected. The High Springs community is mourning the loss of former City Commissioner Linda Clark Jestrin, who passed away at 75. Jestrin served on the City Commission from 2011 to 2014. The city posted on Facebook remembering her profound love for the community and strong family ties. Born in Alachua County in 1949, Jestrin's family had deep roots in the area. Her father was one of the dedicated individuals who worked on the railroad in High Springs.
Taking a look outside on our DOT cameras at Paint Sprayer, traffic is flowing smoothly under a sunny sky. It's been a dry week, but UF forecaster Nicole Borman joins us now, and she is tracking a round of storms that will be arriving over the weekend.
That's right, guys. We should be expecting some storms on Sunday going into your following week, but right now temperatures are looking beautiful outside at Century Tower and over the stadium. Temperatures right now relatively into those upper 70s, but they're going to be getting even higher later on into the day, into those 80s. We're seeing 83 in Gainesville, 84 in Ocala, 82 in the Stark, but later on into our afternoon, we could be seeing those temperatures drop. So we saw this morning as the temperatures came from those 60s and rose all the way up into this afternoon, into those 80s, but later on we're going to be seeing almost a flip-flop of that, and we're going to be seeing the 80s go back down to those 60s into your night. So be sure to dress for the weather, not for right now, but if you're going to go out tonight, dress for it later on. We could be expecting those storms coming in on Sunday going into your week. Some severe risks right now are going to be near Texas over here, but that's only for today as we track this storm developing right here with that low pressure system pushing it over more towards us. Is going to be increasingly getting worse throughout the weekend. And we're seeing as that development continues to increase the area of risk with those higher winds, the hail that could come with it. But it's only going to be affecting Florida when we come here out onto Sunday. And mainly the risk is going to be coming here over at the side of the panhandle. So not too much over here in north central Florida, but those are only the severe risks. We are going to be experiencing that rain. Let's get a better look on how that's going to track out throughout our weekend going into next week. So on Saturday night into Sunday morning, we're seeing as that rain development passes over us with those thunderstorms that go with it, and then it passes through into Monday night, into the Monday afternoon, going into Tuesday. But then we're going to be seeing those scattered storms throughout the development into Tuesday and into Wednesday, and then eventually we will be getting that clear skies that we've been waiting for. Now with that rain coming in, we are going to be seeing a decrease in the pollen levels. We've been seeing a high of all month, but for the next few days, we're still going to be having that high level. So if you've been sneezing a lot outside, trust me, I have been. It's normal. Don't worry about it. It's probably just allergies in the pollen. But for your weekend, we'll be seeing that nice weather on Saturday, and then we're going to be seeing all of that rain coming in on Sunday with those temperatures still being relatively high. But for the rest of your week, we can see as those temperatures continue to keep going up on Wednesday and through Friday, we're going to be seeing those 90s with all that rain coming in at the beginning of the week.
Now let's head over to our Noticias partners for a look at today's top stories for our Spanish language audience. Hola, soy Marina Meretz con tus noticias en 90 segundos. Graves inundaciones afectan el sur de Texas y ciudades al otro lado de la frontera con México. La mitad de las precipitaciones de un año inundaron la región en menos de 2 días. La lluvia ha inundado viviendas y carreteras y ha obligado a 9 distritos escolares a cancelar clases en el lado estadounidense. En México, vientos de hasta 80 kilómetros por hora y fuertes lluvias con algo de granizo ocurrieron durante la noche. Ayer se llevaron a cabo rescates acuáticos mientras meteorólogos declararon estado de emergencia por otras inundaciones repentinas. Se niega libertad condicional para la mujer imputada por el asesinato del cantante Selena Quintanilla. Yolanda Saldívar fue considerada para libertad condicional por primera vez desde la muerte de Selena hace 30 años atrás. Saldívar fue condenada en 1995 después de disparar a Selena y matarla en un motel en Texas. Saldívar seguirá cumpliendo condena en la prisión de Gatesville y puede ser considerada para libertad condicional otra vez en el año 2030. Estas fueron tus noticias en 90 segundos. Gracias por sintonizarnos.
It's officially spring and the time of the year when many people decide to tidy up or maybe declutter their homes. But experts say this season of new beginnings and growth can also give your brain a boost. Mandy Gaither talks to a psychologist about ways spring cleaning can help your mental health and how to avoid procrastination to get the job done.
So long, winter. It's time to welcome a new season. Spring has finally sprung, and if you're thinking of cleaning out your home, it may also help your health.
When we engage in some sort of spring cleaning, it helps us kind of declutter not only our environment, but it can also help us declutter our minds.
Psychologist Adam Borland with Cleveland Clinic says spring cleaning can give our brains a boost, helping us to manage stress, elevate our mood, and provide a sense of accomplishment, which can all go a long way to helping mental health.
Spring cleaning can help us improve our focus, It can help with energy in terms of finding small activities in order to engage with and then seeing those through to completion. If we enlist the help of others, there can certainly be a social dynamic as well.
But Borland says a key to decluttering your home and mind is not tackling too much at one time. He says to set small goals and get the easiest item on your list done first. If procrastination is stopping you, take advantage of good days when you have more energy. Once you start, it'll be easier to get through it. And make it a team effort. Enlisting others can help get the job done. Finally, focus on the happiness a cleaner home will bring.
It's really an opportunity to kind of get out of that hibernation mode. Cleaning up the house can feel like a sense of rejuvenation and kind of restarting, which can be a wonderful feeling, especially after the long months of winter.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Protesters across the nation are targeting Tesla in an effort to impact owner Elon Musk, and one protest is even planned for North Central Florida this weekend. Demonstrations took place outside Tesla showrooms and dealerships on Saturday. The protests are part of Tesla takedown movement, organized by groups like Action Network and People Over Profits. While some protests were peaceful, there have been at least 80 reported cases of vandalism or arson, with 3 facing federal charges.
U.S. and global basketball organizers are in talks about creating a new European basketball league. The NBA and FIBA announced Thursday that they might collaborate on the project. The plan includes working with European soccer clubs to enhance the league. FIBA Secretary General believes European basketball is ready to expand its reach. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says they aim to build on basketball's strong tradition in Europe.
Now let's get over WFT First at 5 anchor Mar Roaches with a look at what's coming up on First at 5 on Channel 5. At 5, we're following 3 top stories for you. Gators made it past the Sweet 16 and into the Elite 8. Our sports reporters are live in San Francisco to break out last night's game and what's to come tomorrow. And then following Florida's special elections, we spoke to local professionals on what to expect. And motion in Tallahassee, more on new ballot initiatives happening in the state capitol. All that and more at 5. Before we go, one last check on the weather.
That's right, guys. Weather's looking really nice outside right now, and the temperature's only going to be getting warmer, but we should be expecting some rain this week and going into the beginning of next week, so be aware of that with your plans.
Thanks for joining us for WFT Midday. We're back here for another edition.